Read what I've highlighted. I'm not playing Warrior. There's no way. I already didn't want to play Warrior. They nerfed block and they nerfed their life.
Buffing ES?
I hate to say it, but like you can't make this up that they nerf life. Yeah, because the life numbers are so incredibly like insane, man. Life was just too strong.
I don't get it. How come they keep saying the evasion guys were weak? Whenever I was playing a game, hybrid evasion ES guys were just fucking broken with the ghost shroud shit. Where they would it was like a million times better. Million times better. I will agree, Giant's Blood was too strong. You were just forced to doing it pretty much almost every build, unless you went like crit, dual wield. You were just like dumb for not doing it because it was just like, okay, you just gain 3 defenses and all you have to do is just get 600 strength, which strength is life and then hardcore life is good, so fair enough.
Evasion, which was currently the meta in the last Path of Exile 2 season, because, throwing javelins and doing ridiculous damage was kind of good, and, the evasion stuff was around the javelin stuff. That's pretty much it. That's all you need to know. So players kind of got a chance to use evasion and see how they liked it, and it turns out they did like it. So evasion is very strong in Path of Exile 2, and evasion is going to get additional ways to gain deflect, and also additional ways to get elemental damage reduction from evasion, which is crazy. Evasion is...
Bro, the devs, are they out of touch? Are they out of touch? Yo, listen to Crip here. Bro, buff life. Wait a minute. What if these new wheels they haven't shown us yet? What if like the warrior nodes have like 5% life per point, 5% life per point? What if we actually have that now? What if that's what they haven't shown us? What if that's the change? And actually, warriors got hella get big buffs because they gave us lots of fucking life nodes. Boom. Hey, wait. Maybe that could be the case.
Getting...
They will have reduced attack speed on them.
overall a big buff. And I can't say, given the challenges we might be facing in the next league, I can't say Evasion is going to be like the best in the next league. But Evasion was the best in this league, and it is getting better, in my opinion. Probably quite significantly better. So that is a head scratcher, because Energy Shield was really, really powerful. It's pretty much the same. Evasion was meta and really powerful, and it's getting buffed. And Armor is also getting... Oh, it's getting buffed. How about that? Armor gains armor, applies to elemental damage from hits. And some people are really stoked about this change. And I will tell you that you can throw your high expectations in the trash can. Because this is completely useless. In Path of Exile 2, the elemental damage taken from hits when armor applies to it, it applies before your resistances. In Path of Exile 1, it applies after your resistances, making it really strong, making it a really strong layer with high resistances, actually, and high armor. It's kind of complementing each other. Remember, in Path of Exile and Path of Exile 2, the bigger the hit, the less percentage mitigated.
Yep.
Okay. So it just if you don't have a huge armor value, your armor mitigating elemental will pretty much mitigate nothing. So when it comes to really big, like near one-shot level stuff, I think it will actually mitigate nothing. We're talking about like single-digit percentage mitigation, like actually nothing. And against small hits, it may be fairly effective. But one of the things
it'd be potent. Like for shotguns, it's going to be so potent. But when you're getting hit by like multi-proj, that's when it's going to be, you could be getting, more than half the damage reduction. So something that hits you for like, 500 damage, but hits you 5 times, you're going to take a lot less damage with armor scaling than you would deflection scaling in that regard. But I don't know how much shotgunning there is how much shotgunning even is there in PoE2. In PoE1, it happens quite a lot. You could get hit by 20 projectiles, but each projectile does 5% of your damage, 5% of your life, right? And if deflection would just get instantly like global there, whereas armor scaling would take no damage there. They'd have 90% DI versus everything. I have a story. There's a video of me clicking a box and then I die. Calm down, mate. Yep, this is it. There it is. So that was like a bunch of little hits. Yeah. So yeah, you can imagine that's lots and lots of little hits. And if you'd had, your armor would get lots of value there. So that'd be like the situations where it would be good. Yeah.
Consider is that small hits is kind of like life regeneration. So if you invest in the elemental damage taken from hits, armor applies to that. It's kind of like getting like 1 or 2% life regeneration. That's pretty much what we're talking about. Let's not kid ourselves. And I mention it in this particular way because one of the nerfs for Kitava is the 5% life regen node on the armor replacement is going to 3%, which honestly is probably exactly the difference you're going to get from elemental damage conversion.
Jesus.
So, yeah, that is rough. Honestly, that's, just bad.
He's totally right, though. He's totally right, though. 100%. You're an idiot, right? If you don't just go deflection, because it's just going to be like a straight-up multiplicative 40% damage reduction that you just get after getting a certain level of investment, like, you are kind of fucking cooked. Whereas armor is, we know that it's going to be bad. It looks like it's going to be bad. Everything I've gone through the footage. We've seen the node is 15%. We've seen the roll on the gear is 17%. We can see that clearly you're going to be around 100% of your armor applies to elemental damage as hits, maybe a little bit more. Based on that math, it's bad. It's objectively worse than deflection, and you'd have to invest massively into it. But I'm still considering doing it anyway. Because what if there's a secret component that we haven't seen yet? What if?
Ascendancy, but it is the most popular ascendancy when it comes to the warrior playstyle. Overall, there are lots of buffs in this patch. Like overall, the whole sum of it is we're going to be stronger. Okay, not warriors though. No, you guys.
Fuck off, crap. I'm going a warrior and I'm going fucking armor stack, boy. And it's gonna be good, even though I know it's bad. Fuck minions, bruv. For real, on God.
Okay, but the thing to kind of keep in mind here is that we are gonna have like a new league mechanic stuff with like abyss stuff. So the new content might be ridiculously hard. This is something they like to do in Path of Exile 1 because people don't like to get nerfed. They're like, buffs for everyone. Oh, by the way, the new stuff is like way harder. Effectively, your character against it is actually worse than before. I actually think that mechanic works pretty well for them, so they're probably just going to do that again. So your characters are probably going to be a lot stronger across the board. Again, not warriors. And the new content is just going to completely destroy you. Now, if it's not going to completely destroy you, I predict that the best type of character to make is going to be a zoomy evasion-based character. Evasion already being meta, already being the fastest type of character, and getting the most buffs to its survivability. It's just like kind of a no-brainer. But if the content is actually very hard, minions are actually looking insanely good. For defeating extremely hard content, minions should do quite well. Now, if you do enjoy playing the warrior playstyle, I just like to remind you guys, this is a video game that we play. If warrior is the worst class, and you like playing warriors, what you should do is play warriors.
True.
Warriors, I think, are going to have a little bit of a different playstyle. However, basically, the defense, when you get defense checked, you are going to get destroyed now. Because you're not going to have your shield, you're not going to have the passive 75 block.
But crap, they're adding the life nodes into the life tree. They have to be. That's why they took the strength-based life from the Giant's Blood. They are putting life nodes onto the tree. They are. No. Dude, that's ES nodes. There's ES nodes. I get that's a defense. But, like, I get that's a defense and life is just a resource or whatever. But, like, fuck, who cares? Bro, they gonna be putting... We're gonna have, like, the sign life wheel is gonna be 15% max life. Each point's gonna be, like, 7% life per point. There'll be a thing... There'll be a mastery in there saying 15% more life, and we're going to have like 10k. It's going to be sick, bro. Warriors are going to be living like kings. They're going to They're going to change the armor formula. The armor's going to be good again. It's going to make deflection cucks jealous. Okay, they're going to be jealous, bro, straight up.
Surrounded, and you're not like stunning the mobs around them, or they're not already dead, or you're not like moving past them so their attacks don't connect. If that stuff's not happening, your warrior's going to get annihilated. Okay, but the ability to avoid that happening is actually better. A lot of the warrior, like mace stuff, is actually getting increased in damage. If you were getting more passives, you could probably increase your damage that way. So, and we can't get micro stunned anymore if you have a decent enough stun threshold, which really, really helps warrior. So the idea of
What about a
getting
shield
defense
build?
checked is going to be a lot.
Wait. Right, if you could get a shield build, then you're basically getting armor. You don't need Giant's Blood, and then you've got a shield on. So then, cool, you can block everything. Right? Think about it. There's a shield guy that said they destroy damage on shield. Negative 50 attack. We don't know till we see the tree. We need to see the tree. Notes. We got another note. Need to see tree. Did they buff life? I feel like it's likely due to Giant's Blood nerf and how strong Evasion characters were and how many buffs they are getting, right? They have to be, right? If they're okay, Evasion was already strong as fuck and they got giga buffed out the wazoo and they're getting deflection, which is just insane, right? So then therefore, I hypothesize that, well, the Evasion builds were already better than life builds and they're getting buffed. That means life builds, and we can only see life nerfs, right? We've only seen life nerfs. So there must be other life buffs. Has to be. There's no way. Right? There must be. It doesn't make sense. So, wait to decide build. 100%. Okay, wait. I think it's wait for the tree, bro. It's wait for the triangle. Straight up. China wanted Evasion builds. Wait, China. Do you think is it China buff? Is that what it is?
Less often, making a highly active warrior playstyle possibly quite viable. Yeah. So that's what I got. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed my rundown of the notes, and I have brought you a little bit more insight that you did not previously have. I will see you guys Path of Exile 2 when it's released. Take care. Thanks for watching.
Dude, Crip went to Brazil. What the fuck? I think he's He's such an anti-armor Andy, isn't he? He is such an anti-armor Andy. Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, I get it. It's calculated before resistance. I get it. The mass looks really bad. I understand 100%. But, like, it's not even worth 1% regen and all this shit. And it's the fucking most heinous, pointless dog shit defense in the game ever. I mean, it's not. I definitely think they should change the base. Like, either A, they buff armor nodes on the tree, or buff, like, base armor on gear, something like that. Or C, they modify the armor formula. Right? The formula of armor gets buffed. They just buff the effectiveness of it.